Hi everyone. I hope you're having a good week so far. My name is Steven, and today I'm recording part one for April 15th. This is the first video of the three that I'm gonna record today. Okay. In my previous videos, I talked about 8 parts of speech. Do you remember that? 8 parts of speech. What were they? Nouns, verbs, pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, conjunction, and interjection, right? Those are the 8 parts of speech. But today, I want to talk about parts of a sentence, okay? So let's begin. All right. All right. Do you remember what my favorite sentence was or is? It is, I love you. Okay? I like sentences with word love in it. Okay? Anyway, here's a short sentence, 3-word sentence. So, what are the parts? What are the parts in this sentence? Okay? Well, what is I? If I ask you what part of speech, that's a pronoun. But I'm not asking you what part of speech. I'm talking about what part is I in this particular sentence. In this sentence, what is the function of I? Okay? Yes, it is a pronoun, but how is that pronoun being used? Does anybody know? Yes, I is the subject. Okay? I is the subject. Okay? And then love is what? Is the verb, okay? It's the action, right? Love is action, all right? So it's subject, verb, and what is you here? What is you? I love you. What is you there? Okay, it's another pronoun, but I'm not asking you. Again, I'm not asking you what part of speech that word you is. I'm asking you, what is that part in this sentence? Okay, how is that you being used? How is that pronoun you being used in this sentence? Okay, what is the function in this sentence? Yes, it's an object. It's an object. Okay, so I love you is subject, verb, object. Okay, all right. So again, we're still reviewing. So subject is what? Subject is what? Subject in the sentence performs action. Okay, how about object? Object, okay. Subject performs action. Subject, does the loving. Okay, and object receives action. Okay, simple as that. Okay, subject performs action, and object receives action. Okay, so when I say I love you, I do the loving. Okay, I do a lot of loving, and I give you my love, and then the other person receives that love. Okay, simple as that. So if I say something like I touch or I hit the whiteboard, I hit the board, I is the subject because I am doing the action. I am hitting or touching, and the whiteboard is receiving that touch or that hit. So I hit the board means what? I is the subject, hit is the verb, and the board is the object. Very simple. So in English, the word order, there's a big word for word order is syntax. Okay, syntax. Syntax for English, okay, is subject, verb, object. That's the normal order. That's how most people write and speak. Okay, unless you're trying to write a poem or trying to be poetic, the the normal order, the way English flow is subject, verb, object. Okay, I love you. I hit the board. Okay, now some languages like Korean and Spanish is really subject, object, verb. Okay, subject, object, verb. Okay, it's like yo te amo, right? Subject, object, verb. But in English, is subject, verb, object is the normal flow. All right. Okay. So a short sentence. That is a short sentence. Okay, let's talk about another sentence, maybe a little bit longer. All right, let's talk about it. Let's try this one different way. Okay, one thing before I move on. Now this is the subject and this is the object, right? All right. What if I wrote something like he loves her? Okay, it's the same type of sentence. I just change I to he and you to her. Okay, he loves her. Okay, same thing. Subject, verb, object. Same thing. The reason why I put it up here is, what if I wrote down him loves she? Okay, okay. He loves her became him loves she. Sounds like Tarzan, right? Okay. All right. Him loves she. Him loves she. Does that sound right? No, that's not right. Why isn't it? Because this should be the subject and this should be the object. Remember, that's the subject pronoun, third person singular masculine, and that's the what? Third person singular feminine object pronoun. So for subject place, you want to use subject, not object form. Okay? You don't want to do that. And same thing here. You want to say what? You want to use object personal pronoun for the object position, not the subject pronoun. Okay? So I know you know that, but sometimes we make that mistake. Just make sure that we use subject pronouns for subject position and object pronouns for object positions. Okay? All right. All right, let's move on to a little bit longer sentence. A little bit longer sentence. All right? A little bit longer sentence. All right, let's say we learn English on the internet. Okay, we learn English on the internet. Okay, it's a little bit longer sentence. All right, but let's pick out the different parts of this sentence. Okay, so same thing. We is what? We is the subject. Learn is what? Learn is the verb. And what's English? English is the object, right? We learn English. Okay? We learn English. What do we learn? English. Now, what is on the internet? What is on the internet? What part of speech is that? What part of speech is that? All right. Remember, on, what part of speech is on? What part of speech is on? Okay. That's a preposition, right? Preposition. Remember? Preposition connects a noun to the rest of the sentence. It shows relationship in position and time. Okay. So, that's a preposition, and this whole thing is a phrase. So we call that prepositional phrase. Okay, this whole thing together is a part. Okay, it's a prepositional phrase. In this case, we learn English where on the internet. So this would be an adverbial prepositional phrase in this case. Okay, so that whole thing is a prepositional phrase. Okay, and internet. The word internet is what? This is a little bit hard. We call that the object of preposition. Okay, that's the object of this preposition on. Okay, on the internet. So together, that's a prepositional phrase. Okay, so subject, verb, object, and then prepositional phrase. That is the part of that. Those are the parts of this particular sentence. Okay, subject, verb, object, and then under internet is a prepositional phrase. In this case, adverbial because it answers where? On the internet. Okay, and on is the preposition, and internet is the object of preposition. Okay, all right. Any questions? Any questions so far? Okay, straightforward. I'm just trying to explain, different parts. Now, there are obviously many more parts in a sentence, But we don't have to go through all that, okay? For ESL class purpose, this is enough. Maybe even more than enough, okay? If you want to learn a lot more parts and a lot more English, you need to go to the universities and take the credit courses, okay? Starting with English 101, okay? But for ESL purpose, for, just daily conversational English, this should be enough. Well, maybe one more thing, okay? Let's talk about a sentence with one more thing, okay? We might see this, okay, not just in the, let's just erase all that. All right, let's make a little bit longer sentence, okay? Not longer sentence, but a little bit, a sentence with another part. All right, what if I wrote, okay, all right, that's the sentence. She cooks me dinner. She cooks me dinner. Is that a good sentence? Is that a good sentence, do you think? Does that sound right? Is this good or no good? Good or no good? Okay, good? No good? Okay, some of you don't know? Okay, this is a very good sentence. Okay, there's no problem with this sentence. This is a very good sentence. It's a very nice sentence. All right, so let's label the parts. Okay, what are the parts? Okay, this pronoun is what? Is the subject, right? And cooks is obviously the verb. All right, but we've got two different words here. She cooks me dinner. What is me and dinner in this sentence? What are me and dinner? These two words in this sentence. She cooks me dinner. She cooks me dinner. Does anyone know? Who knows? Let me hear it. Okay. There are objects, right? They're both objects, right? Okay, they're both objects. Now, it can't be subject, right? Subject's over here. Subject is before the verb. She cooks me dinner. Now, they're both objects, right? They're both objects. Are they same kind of objects or are they different kinds of objects? What do you think? Are they same or different? Exactly, they're different. They're different objects, okay? Do you know what the difference is, or do you know the names of these two different objects? Yes, yes, yes. One of them is a direct object, and the other one is the indirect object. One is the direct object, and the other one is the indirect object. Okay? All right. Which one is which? Which one is which? Okay, which one is the direct object? No, it's not me, okay? It's not me. Okay, right, it's dinner. Dinner is the direct object. Me is the indirect object, okay? So, that's the indirect object, and dinner is the direct object, okay? Now, how do you know? How do you know? Okay? Remember, I said subject performs action and object receives action, right? So, we call this direct object because direct objects receive action directly. And then indirect objects receive action indirectly. Okay? Doesn't that make sense? Yes, it does make sense. All right. So, who receives direct action of her cooking? Okay? So, think of it this way. She cooks me or she cooks dinner? Okay? Which one is... Okay, please. Don't cook me. I don't want to die. Oh, I don't like hot stoves. Okay? All right. So she's not cooking me. Okay? She's cooking dinner, right? She cooks dinner. That's the direct object, okay? That's the direct object. And then, when she cooks dinner, I eat, right? I get to eat dinner, right? So, me is the indirect object, okay? I receive dinner, okay? I don't receive cooking, okay? So, she cooks dinner. Direct object, she cooks me dinner. She cooks dinner. I receive dinner indirectly, okay? So that's the indirect object and direct object, okay? Simple? Does that make sense? All right. Let me rewrite this in a different way. What if I wrote this in this way? She cooks dinner. She cooks dinner for me. She cooks dinner for me. These two sentences are what? They're good sentences. And what about the meanings? Okay, are they same in meanings, or are they different in meanings? They have the same meaning, right? Same exact meaning. Okay, she cooks me dinner is in meaning the same as she cooks dinner for me. Same thing. Okay, but what's the difference? The sentence structure. Okay, the parts of the sentence are different, right? So this one is subject, verb, object, object, right? Indirect object, direct object. But this one is what? This one is subject, verb. This is object. And what is for me? What is for me? Okay. All right. Some of you learned it already. That's another prepositional phrase, right? Okay. For is the preposition, and together the whole thing is the phrase. Okay. And me is the object of preposition. Okay. So that's it. She cooks me dinner. Subject, verb, indirect object, direct object. She cooks dinner for me. Subject, verb, object, and then prepositional phrase with preposition and the object of preposition. Okay? And these are the parts of a sentence. Very simple, right? Okay. Now, like I mentioned earlier, there are, many more parts like complements and adjective phrases, a lot of different parts, okay? But you don't have to know all those different parts, okay? You just have to know subject, verb, object, indirect object, direct object, prepositional phrase. That should suffice. That's enough for ESL class, okay? All right, now let's talk about let's talk about one more sentence, okay? Let's talk about one more sentence. Okay, normally when I'm teaching a face-to-face class, I would ask you to write a sentence. Each of you would write a sentence, and I would put up some of the sentences, and we'll go over and label each part, okay, and maybe even correct them if they're grammatically incorrect. But since we can't do this, since you're not here, I'm gonna just volunteer to write some sentences. Okay. All right. So if I wrote a sentence like, all right, I wrote down, us learn English every day. Okay. Us learn English every day. Now we're gonna label this sentence with different parts of a sentence. But first of all, is this a good sentence? Is it good or no good? Good or no good? All right. Obviously, this is not a good sentence. Why? Because this should be subject, right? This should be subject of the sentence. So we should be using a subject pronoun, but instead, what do we use? Us. Okay, that's not us. Okay, this is us. Us is not a subject pronoun, right? That's the first person plural object pronoun, right? So we cannot use us. Okay, we have to use we. Okay, so we learn English every day. All right, so we change that. Okay, we correct that part. Now this is a good sentence. Is this a good sentence? Do you think this is a good sentence? Okay. It's not a good sentence. Why not? Because of this word, every day. Okay? Every day. All right? So every day should be what? Should be 2 words. Okay? Every day should be 2 words. Okay? every day together, okay, that's when you use it as an adjective, okay, like in the sentence, studying English is my everyday activity, okay. All right, so every day describes activity, okay, a noun. So that's an adjective. When we use it as an adjective, there's no space. It's just one word. But when you use it like an adverb phrase, okay, every day, when, every day, you have to have a space, okay? You have to have a space, okay? So now is it correct? We learn English every day. Yes, now it's correct. So we is what? We is the subject, learn is the verb, English is what? Object, and every day is what? That's the adverbial phrase. Adverbial phrase. Okay? Telling us when. Okay? Adverbial phrase. Alright, so I'll come right back with part 2. Alright? See you soon.